Good morning, dear students. In the previous class, we started the chapter materials, that is metal and non-metals. We started talking about some properties of metal as well as some properties of non-metal. That was basically we talked about the physical properties of metal as well as non-metal. Today, we are going to start chemical properties of metal as well as non-metal. Okay. So metals and non-metals have certain chemical properties. What are the chemical properties? First one is reaction of metal with oxygen. What happens when a metal reacts with oxygen? That is the first property. Metals react with oxygen to form metal oxide. That means when a metal will react with oxygen, the metal will combine with oxygen and it forms metal oxide, which are called metallic or basic oxide. Okay, these are also known as basic oxide. The oxides are basic in nature that turns red litmus paper blue. So you know that the base turns red litmus to blue. So as because the metals are basic in nature, they also turn red litmus to blue. What are the examples of it? Magnesium ribbon on heating in air or oxygen catches fire, burns with white flame to form magnesium oxide. Now see, this one some examples are given. This is magnesium. When you burn magnesium in air, it will react with oxygen that is present in the air and it will form magnesium oxide. Magnesium reacts with oxygen and it forms magnesium oxide. Then sodium. Sodium, when it is open to air, it will react with oxygen and it forms sodium oxide. Now see, magnesium, magnesium oxide. Sodium, sodium oxide. Here oxygen is added with the metal. Now zinc plus oxygen becomes zinc oxide. Okay, so metal plus oxygen become metal oxide. So zinc oxide. Aluminium on reaction with oxygen forms aluminium oxide, which covers its surface and acts as a preventive layer to prevent further oxidation. Okay, so here what happens whenever a metal reacts with oxygen, oxygen combines with the outer surface of the metal and it covers it and it prevents further oxidation. Oxidation means addition of oxygen. So so this is what happens when any metal reacts with oxygen. So remember this one, metal plus oxygen becomes metal oxide. In place of metal, you can replace the word metal with the name of the different metals. For example, magnesium plus oxygen, magnesium oxide. Sodium plus oxygen, sodium oxide. Like this, like that. Now, to second point, reaction of metal with water. How metal will react with water? Sodium reacts vigorously with water while other metals do not do so. Okay. They here, as we know that sodium is the metal, there are certain metals that react vigorously with water. On the other hand, other metals they do not react with water. For example, if you take a piece of iron or a piece of gold or a piece of silver, if you drop it into water, then nothing will happen. But in the case of sodium, it reacts vigorously, very fastly with water. So they dissolve in water to form alkalis. When metals react with water, they form metal oxide. This is what we saw earlier. When metals react with water, they form metal oxide or metal hydroxide, and hydrogen gas is evolved. Oxide means oxygen will be added, hydroxide means OH. It will be added, and in this case, hydrogen gas will evolve. Remember this one, hydrogen gas will evolve. So this is metal, this is water, metal oxide or metal hydroxide. Out of these two, any one will form, and hydrogen gas will evolve, means come out. There are certain examples. And sodium reacts with water, sodium hydroxide form, Now see, 2 sodium, this is 2 sodium, 2 into 2, 4 hydrogen, this is 2 into 1, 2 hydrogen plus these 2, 4 hydrogen. Now 2 oxygen, this is 2 oxygen. Okay, so when sodium reacts with water, sodium hydroxide is formed and hydrogen gas is evolved. So whenever a metal reacts with water, okay, either metal oxide will form or metal hydroxide will form and hydrogen gas will come out. Okay, so this may be a question that when metal reacts with water, which gas evolve? It is hydrogen. Another example, when potassium, the symbol of potassium is K. Okay, it is also one of the most reactive metal. When potassium reacts with water, potassium hydroxide is formed and hydrogen gas evolves. Hydrogen gas come out of it. Okay. Then the reaction of calcium with cold water is not violent. It, it is having reaction but not as violent as sodium. It takes place slowly. This is a very slow reaction. So when calcium reacts with water, calcium hydroxide is formed and hydrogen gas comes out. Okay. Now see here inside, sodium metal is always kept in kerosene as it reacts vigorously when it comes in contact with air or water. Sodium is one of the highly reactive metal. When it comes in the contact of air or water, it reacts very vigorously. Okay, so that is why as if we keep sodium in the open atmosphere, the atmosphere contains air, it contains oxygen as well, so it will have reaction with oxygen. It will have reaction. It also contains the vapor, water vapor. So this sodium will react with water vapor, and it is a very vigorous reaction. So that is why to eliminate this one, we generally sodium is kept under kerosene. Okay. Now, what is oxide? The compounds of metals and non-metals and oxygen. So when metal or non-metal react with oxygen, it forms metal oxide or non-metal oxide. Now you should remember all these reactions. These are very, very important. There is no such one formula that you can remember all, but you need to practice it. Have a good practice on these reactions. Then there are some more reactions. Magnesium hardly reacts with cold water. Okay. Reaction is faster with hot water and vigorously with steam. So magnesium is a matter that react with cold water very slowly. If it is hot water, then the reaction will be faster. If it is steam, it will react vigorously. That means here, what is the difference between cold water, hot water and steam? Their temperature and their energy. If the energy contained of water is more, then the reaction of magnesium with the water will also vigorous. So magnesium react with steam, magnesium hydroxide is formed, hydrogen gas is evolved, as we know. Then magnesium react with steam. See, this is steam, gas, G for gas. Okay, it reacts with then it reacts with steam. Then magnesium oxide is formed and hydrogen gas comes out. Okay. Now one thing I would like to ask you a question. Now see, this is here is also steam is written, here is also steam is written, but here in bracket G is written, here G is not written. So what is the difference between this steam and this one, these two? Okay, comment me in the comment section. Okay. Okay, so I cannot answer all the questions. You need to think something on your own. So try. This is very easy. Try to find out. You will easily get it and comment it in the comment section. Now, metals like aluminium, zinc, iron do not react with cold water or hot water. There are certain metals like aluminium, zinc, iron. It do not whether it doesn't it do not it doesn't matter whether the water is cold, hot, or whatever. It do not react. It does not react. These metals do not react. They react with steam, but reaction is very slow. So when aluminium react with steam, they form aluminium oxide. It is a very slow process, and hydrogen gas evolves. When zinc react with steam, zinc oxide forms and again hydrogen gas revolves. When iron react with steam, ferric oxide. Here ferric is also iron. We generally call it as iron, but its scientific name is ferric and ferrous. Okay. So ferric oxide or iron oxide you can say, here also hydrogen gas evolves. So whenever metal reacts with water, hydrogen gas evolves. Okay. Then there are some more examples like metal like copper, silver, gold do not react with water. Okay. Then reaction of metal with acid. So reaction of metal with water, reaction of metal with oxygen is over. Then reaction of metal with acids. How metal reacts with acid? Metal react with acid to form salt and liberate hydrogen gas. Okay. So these metal will react with acid and salt will form and hydrogen gas will come out. So there are some examples like when sodium react with hydrochloric acid, sodium chloride forms and hydrogen gas comes out. So sodium react with hydrochloric acid, sodium chloride is formed and hydrogen gas come out. Now see this sodium will react with the chlorine of hydrochloric acid and it forms NaCl, that is sodium chloride that we eat, and from here the hydrogen it comes out. Okay. Next example is magnesium. Magnesium react with sulfuric acid. This is Mg. Sulfuric acid, this SO4, this Mg will combine with SO4, MgSO4, and H2, this hydrogen gas will come out. Okay. Then Fe iron. Iron react with hydrochloric acid. Okay. And ferrous chloride, FeCl2. This is the product, and here hydrogen gas will come out. Then reaction of metal with base. Mostly metals do not react with bases. Okay, metal usually they react with acid, they do not react with base. Some metals like lead, zinc, aluminium react strong bases. Okay, these are the metals that may react with strong base. If the base is very strong, they will react and produce compound metal and hydrogen gas. Okay. Copper, silver, gold do not react with acid. So these are the three metals that do not react with acid. Okay. Next one is displacement reaction. So a chemical reaction that takes place when an element replaces another element in a compound is known as displacement reaction. One is displacing other. Okay. One is displacing other. It is taking part of other compound. Now you can see this one. In displacement reaction, more reactive metal displaces less reactive metal. So there are certain metals which are more reactive, there are certain metals which are less reactive. More reactive metal will replace the less reactive metal. Okay, so this is the arrangement of the metal according to the reactive order. So here the top one becomes more reactive, the downward becomes less reactive, it decreases. So potassium is the most reactive metal. Okay, potassium Ka, it is the most reactive metal, highly reactive, then sodium, then barium, then calcium, like this. Okay. Now these are all the reactions of metals with oxygen and metal with acid, base, and metal with water. Now let us come to non-metals. How do non-metals react? So chemical properties of non-metal. Reaction of non-metal with oxygen. So non-metal react with oxygen to form neutral oxide or acetic oxide. See, metal react with oxygen to form basic oxide. Okay. Non-metal react with oxygen to form acidic oxide. The acidic oxide, when dissolved in water, they form acid, which turns blue litmus paper to red. Earlier we studied that metal oxide turn red litmus to blue. It is just the opposite of it. It turns blue litmus to red. See some of the examples. Carbon. So when carbon reacts with oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide, which is a gas. And when carbon dioxide reacts with water, it forms carbonic acid. Okay. What we studied here, that non-metal react with water, form acid. Here carbon dioxide, this is a gas, non-metal, it reacts with water to form carbonic acid. Okay. Now sulfur reacts with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. When sulfur dioxide reacts with water, it forms sulfurous acid. Okay. Acidic oxide, what is this? The oxide of nonmetals will dissolve in water to form acid. Acidic oxide are those oxides of nonmetal. When it dissolves in water, it forms acid. Now there are some more examples, like nitrogen reacts with oxygen to form nitrogen oxide. When nitrogen oxide reacts with water, it forms nitric acid. And reaction of non-metals with water. Non-metals do not react with water or steam to evolve hydrogen gas. Earlier we saw that when metal reacts with water or steam, it evolved hydrogen gas. But in case of non-metal hydrogen gas, it does not evolve. Phosphorus is very reactive if kept in open air. It catches fire when combines with O2 from air. From metal, we saw that sodium is very reactive, potassium is very reactive. Similarly, in case of non-metal, phosphorus is very reactive. Reaction with non-metal with acid. Non-metal do not react with dilute acid. What do you mean by dilute acid? Dilute acid means, suppose you have a bottle, it contains acid, which is pure form of acid, that is also known as concentrated acid. There is another bottle that contains water. From here, you take some amount of acid and add here gradually, not at a time, gradually. Now remember this one, that this is acid and this is water. If you gradually add acid into water, then nothing will happen. But if you add water into acid, then the container of the bottle will burst. Okay, because there will be vigorous reaction. So dilute acid means acid plus water. Okay. More amount of water, less amount of acid. But sulfur react with hot concentrated nitric acid. See, this is concentrated nitric acid. That means this is not dilute, this is pure nitric acid, to produce sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide and water. No hydrogen gas evolves. This point is important. When non-metal react, it do not evolve hydrogen gas. Like sulfur react with nitric acid, sulfur dioxide is formed, nitrogen dioxide is formed, and water forms. Now these are some of the common uses of metal. Copper. Copper can be used for making electric wire, or car radiators, uses of making coins, statue, or boilers. It can be used in aluminium. It can be used for cooking vessels, transmission of wire and cable. Aluminum foils are used for wrapping chocolates, medicine, foodstuffs. Mixed with certain metals, it is used for construction of aircraft. It is used for construction of aircraft as well. And iron, very famous metal. Pipes, sinks, storage tanks, railings are made of iron. You know this one. It is used for manufacturing of nail, gates, nuts, bolts, chairs, wires, and all that. Stainless steel used for making utensils. Stainless steel is also made of iron. Okay. So if you add around maximum 2.7%. Okay, or if you add around 2.7% of carbon into iron, it becomes steel. Not stainless steel. Stainless steel has some other elements as well. But if you add around 2.7% carbon into iron, it will become steel. If you add around maximum 6.7% carbon, it becomes cast iron. Okay. So about this one we'll read in higher classes about cast iron and all that. Okay. Now, uses of common non-metals. What are the uses? So what some of the most common non-metals are hydrogen. Hydrogen is a gas as well. Gases are non-metal. Okay. So used for making fertilizer by ammonia. It is used for making fertilizers. Liquid hydrogen is used as a fuel in spaceship. Okay. So in spaceship, the fuel that is used is hydrogen, liquid hydrogen, for converting vegetable oil into ghee. So this is also known as hydrogenization, this process, as a reducing agent. Now carbon, diamond used as a gem for cutting glass, marble, etc. So diamond is a form of carbon. Graphite is used as lubricant. Graphite is also carbon. Okay. Coal is used as fuel. Charcoal is used as decolorizing agent in sugar industry. Okay. These are some of the uses of carbon. Then there are some other non-metal as well. Nitrogen is used for food canning and in electrical bulb. Used for protecting nitrogen compounds. Used for providing low temperature to store human organs. Okay. Then oxygen, you know that we need oxygen for breathing. In hospital, it is used for serious patents in the patients. Uh, patients in industry for oxidation ammonia to nitric acid, in manufacturing of steel to oxide impurities, or flame of cutting and welding metal scrap. You might have seen this one in workshops. They use oxyacetylene gases to cut and weld metals. In manufacturing of sulfuric acid also oxygen is used. Sulfur as fungicide, insecticide, that means it is generally used in medicinal purpose. In manufacturing of sulfuric acid also it is used. As because sulfuric acid contains sulfur, obviously sulfur will be used. Then the next one is noble metal. Some metals remain unaffected in air, water, acid solution or alkaline solution and are found in free state. Now earlier we saw that if it is metal or non-metal, some of them react with air, oxygen, water, acid, base and all that. But there are certain metals that do not react at all with these substances. They are chemically unreactive. Okay, they are chemically stable. They do not react. They are known as noble metal or inert metal. For example, gold. Gold do not react. Silver, platinum. These are the noble metal, and they have metallic luster for long time. Luster means it shines. Gold shines for long time compared to any other metal. Then alloy, what is alloy? When we mix two or more than two metal or metal non-metal in different ratio, they form alloy. Alloy generally we generally make alloy to get a specific property. For example, if you want to increase strength of iron, then you need to add certain amount of carbon into it, certain percentage of carbon into it. Let's say 1.5 or 1.6 or 1.7%. So that is strength will be increased. It will become more harder. So this is alloy. And alloy is metallic material composed of two or more metals or one or more metals and non-metals. So it may be made up of two or more metals, one or more metal and non-metal. Alloying can be used to increase hardness of metal, that is, this is what I was talking about just now. It makes metal more resistant to attack by chemicals and atmospheric corrosion. Okay. It changes the properties of metal in other ways. So this is a table. So alloy, their constituent present, their properties, their uses are given. If you want, then you can go through it. For example, brass. Okay. Brass is when copper is mixed with zinc, brass is formed 70% copper and 30% zinc. It is ductile, malleable, it is corrosion resistance. Now, why it is used? It is for making utensil, nails, screws, electric goods. Okay. cartridge container, parts of watches, musical instruments. These are some of the uses. Bronze, copper and tin mix to form bronze. Bronze is hard. This is corrosion resistant. It is used for making statue. In your history also you might have read about bronze statue like Indus Valley civilization and all that. Okay. It is used for bearings. So these are some list. If you want, you can go through it. Okay. Then the next point is corrosion of metal. How do metal get corrode? Iron gets oxidized to iron oxide, that is brown by reaction of atmospheric oxygen in the presence of moisture. So this is iron. When iron react with oxygen in the presence of air, it get rust. Okay, rust. Okay. If an iron object exposed to air for a long time, the entire thing can get eaten away. This action of air on metal surface is called corrosion. So this is the reaction. Okay, means this oxygen and water combinedly weaken the iron if it is open for a very long period of time. Then the last point of this chapter, how do you prevent rusting? If here we saw that metal rust or it get corroded, so how do we prevent this one? This is very important. Both air and water are needed together to rust the iron. Here we saw this one. See, this is iron, this is water, this is air. Both air and water combinedly needed to rust the iron. If only air is present, water is not present, or if only water is present, air is not present, that the reaction will not take place. So both air as well as water is needed for the rusting. The only way to prevent iron from rusting is to keep air and water away from it. So if you can keep air and water away from it, it will not rust. So how do you do this one? By painting, by applying some paint, by greasing and oiling, by using silica gel, by galvanization. What is galvanization? This is important short question. The process of coating a thin layer of zinc on the surface of iron object is called galvanization. If you coat a thin layer of zinc on the surface of the iron object, that process is known as galvanization. And also obviously by electroplating. So these are some of the methods that can be used for the prevention of rusting. Okay, so this is all about today's class. If you feel any doubt, if you have any doubt in today's class, feel free to ask me at any time. Okay, so thank you all and have a nice day.